Welcome to 8-Minute Webinars. This is a brand new series that we are bringing you. It's for students. The goal here is to give you insight into how certain companies that do hire entry level or interns give you an idea of what their process is like. And my name is Tarek Pertu. I am the co-founder and chief creative officer at Uncubed. Uncubed is a candidate engagement and recruiting platform. We create a lot of content to help you understand what life is like at companies, and then we help connect you to them, in short. In this episode here, I'm bringing a person that's become a good friend of mine over the years, Will Blaze. I like to call him Billy Blaze. He's been at Peloton for a bit, but Will, why don't you introduce yourself, and then I'll quickly explain what we're going to do, and then we'll jump into it.
Sure. Thanks, Tarek. So my name's Will. I lead tech recruiting at Peloton. So our team, we hire everyone on software engineering, product, design, IT, quite a few different teams. I've been at Peloton for a little more than 4 years now. It's been a wild ride, but we think we're still scratching the surface here. It's a great time to join the company, and I'd love to answer any questions you might have for me.
Okay, so when you joined Peloton, real quick, how many people were at the company?
I think a couple hundred.
Got it. And now it's a few thousand?
Couple thousand.
Yeah. Okay, good. All right, cool. So putting my student hat on here, I want to get a job at Peloton. First and foremost, where are the office locations that would be open?
Sure. So we have quite a few different locations. Our main headquarters is in New York City. We also have an office in Plano, Texas, a few satellite offices, retail stores, warehouses, distribution centers. We have our super studio in New York, another studio in London, and an office in London too. So the company's growing, but to answer your question, our headquarters is in New York City.
And is that where typically the entry level candidates, engineers, product and folks would end up?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
That is done for the most part remotely. We did previously fly people to New York City. I'm not sure if we're gonna do that this year, but we start posting these roles on our website in the fall, and we go to these events.
Are the jobs on your website easy to find in terms of what are entry level and what are not?
Yes, we usually title them entry level for developers.
Got it. And are there typically intern roles available as well?
Yes, and the recruiting is historically done in the fall for those roles. And they start in the summer, the next June or July or so. This year they're starting a couple weeks from now. Interns and new grads.
Got it. And generally speaking, how many entry level engineers do you bring on, or where you're at now?
Last year was around 10. That might change this year. I think also as we start building out more recruiting programs, we might have different kinds of candidates we'll be hiring, and we've had a lot of MBAs that are interested in Peloton. So we'll reevaluate that, but I could definitely speak to hiring engineers, and we'll be doing that in the fall. And it'll be around 10 or 15 or so, depending on what our headcount looks like for the next year.
Got it. And what would you say is probably the job title of
software engineer?
Software engineer, entry-level software engineer?
Yep. So we have different levels of engineer, 1, 2, 3, senior, tech lead, principal. So there's different career paths that you can take, whether it's the IC path or management path. But the IC path starts at level 1 for software engineers. It would be the title would be software engineer.
And then would the opportunities be across the company? Would be on the actual mobile platform versus
yes.
Yeah. Versus the bike.
Yeah, so we have quite a few different teams at Peloton. Engineers work at everything from the bike tablet, which is a custom Android operating system. We have an infrastructure and platform team that ensures reliability and performance of the Peloton platform. We also have e-commerce. Everything from buying our hardware products to accessories to the whole delivery experience. An API team that works on social features and following and unfollowing friends. We just released a really cool feature called tags. We have integrations with Spotify and Strava and Fitbit. So really cool stuff that our engineers are working on, and right out of college too.
Great. if I'm a candidate and I'm thinking, all right, I'm a great candidate, I'm strong, thousands are applying. Is there any advice that maybe someone could only find on this webinar that you would give someone? And
I think a lot of people think that cover letters are a waste of time, but we actually do read them. And I will say, compared to other companies that our recruiters have worked at, and myself included, there are a lot of people out there that really love the company and the brand. So, if you're a college student, maybe you have our product, or maybe your parents do, or someone that you know in your network. So just having that passion for the company will help you stand out.
great. And then what about resume design? Do you like people to stick with your traditional resume design, or what happens when people get a little fancy?
I think, if you could stand out any way you can, it can't hurt. I think if you have nice font, maybe some colors in the resume, rather than like a black and white Times New Roman resume, you'll definitely stand out.
What about the actual interview process? And then what should they wear?
Sure. So we usually do an assessment, a take-home assessment that entry level candidates can do at home. Usually takes a couple hours, and then we like to build the interview into that assessment, so it'll be a continuation of what you did at home. So after you complete the assessment, we'll probably have a few more phone interviews, um, 3 or 4, and then we're able to make a decision. We This usually happens in the fall. The whole process can take it could be as fast as a couple of weeks. It could take a couple months, depending on your timeline. And usually, after we hit our hiring target, we usually stop interviewing, and new grads start in June or so.
Got it. And then how should someone like present themselves in an interview? A lot of students, a lot of the larger enterprises are the ones that are recruiting on school. And I think people still feel like they need to dress up in a suit and tie. Is that the case with Peloton? What do you recommend?
So if you look at our website, we sell a lot of our own apparel. Can't hurt to show up with a Peloton t-shirt. But we're very flexible in regards to what you wear in an interview. I don't think you need to wear a suit and tie for a Peloton interview. If you want to be business professional, that works. If you like athleisure, we of course support that too.
And then lastly, how do you feel about candidates reaching out to you or members on your team through LinkedIn that are interested in work, right? I mean, people that might think I'm going to kind of do it a different way here.
Yeah, it can't hurt to build a relationship with someone. If you want to send an ad to one of the recruiters on LinkedIn and get in touch with them. I will say there are people that have added me on LinkedIn, and we hired them years later. So networking is always good, but do keep in mind we get thousands of applicants. We try to get back to everybody. We want to ensure that everyone's getting a hiring decision, whether it's being advanced in the process or not. But do bear in mind that we do get lots of messages, and we try to get back to everybody, but it does get difficult sometimes.
Okay, cool. Well, that's it. That's all the time we have. For more information, obviously go to Peloton. They've got a great career page. They also have content on Uncubed if you find it there. And thank you all for listening. We'll be back with a new one next week.